you talked last week about the need to build on that momentum, haven't you? And I suppose that's the key thing when you get a good result now. That's gone, hasn't it? And the next thing is you've now got to build a platform for yourself to get on a little bit of a run and get some momentum.
It's about consistency in performance. I think the last 4 games has been very consistent. I certainly thought we was well deserved the win at the weekend. I thought we was in the last 2 games as well. But we've only won one of those. So we have to keep focusing on performance and getting better in all areas, in all aspects. So we're pleased with the win, and let's try and build on it tomorrow.
Last year you had a really good run at different times throughout the season. What's, if you like, aside from the standard, what's the difference this year, and what are the difficulties in trying to do a similar thing this year?
About 8 million.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got to be realistic, haven't we? The structure of the league, there's some really big clubs in the league. We're fighting to get better, to improve in all aspects of the football club, not just the football side, but every aspect of it. And that's what we have to keep continuing to try and do, to try and beat the big boys and match the big boys. I think we've been pretty consistent against teams in and around us. That shows at the minute in the table how close there is that little culture, that little pack who's fighting to be the top of that, because the top 6, from what I look at, are miles ahead on us.
Of the teams that got promoted last year, you've kind of consistently been at the top of that pack of ones who came up. So, in some ways, does that show you that you are doing something right? As that all those teams came up on a kind of similar playing field, and you've managed to stay at the top of that little group?
I think we are, but everybody will have their own judgment on that. I think if you did say to the majority of people at the beginning of the season we'd be on 43 points with 11 games to play, I don't know many people who wouldn't have taken that. So, but we want to thrive to get better, and that is, we don't want to sit on our laurels. We don't want to not move forward and keep continuing to try and improve all aspects of our play and build on the great culture we have at the club. So let's try and get as many points as we possibly can in these last 11 games and finish as high as possible in the league.
Just a player I wanted to mention to you was Will Forrester, who won Player of the Month last month, and he's established himself in the team now, and he's been really consistent for you over the last 4 games. Just tell us how impressed you've been with him.
Very impressed. He's needed that run of games. He's had a stop-start season with 1 or 2 niggles, 1 or 2 injuries, and you can see with the consistent run of games, he's really found his form and thoroughly deserved winner of the Player of the Month.
Does it also kind of, when you've gone to try and sign players from championship clubs who might not be getting games, and you've gone to pick players who you've then nurtured and progressed, does that kind of show you that the process that you've got here does work when you bring in a player like that and he then starts to play regularly?
Yeah, no, certainly does. And himself and Lewis Cass have been fortunate. Unfortunately, he's picked up a calf strain. He started to find a bit of form, bit of rhythm in his 2-3 games when he come back in the team as well. So what I say, the younger probably development players in our team, Sammy Robinson's done well in fits and starts this season as well. The younger players are getting the minutes and building up that development that we need them to be able to compete.
Have they been benefited by playing next to somebody like Nathan Smith, who's really experienced and has played, I think he's over 400 games now, hasn't he? So now, how does that help you as a manager, knowing you've got somebody like that on the pitch with them?
Smith is a fan's favourite, he's a manager's favourite as well, because he's a great lad, first and foremost. I don't think he's missed a training session since I've been at the club. His match per minutes is very good, and he's improving. I think if you look at Nathan Smith now, he's a lot better on the ball. Andy Crosby's done a lot of work with him on the ball, and he's improved immensely on that, and there's more improvement in him, and he's enjoying his football. So to have the younger development players like Will Forrester, Lewis Cass, the defenders in the team, and Aaron Donnelly, to have somebody like Smithy next year is a big boost for them.
I'm not asking you to give anything away here, but obviously he's one of many who's out of contract at the end of the year. So in your head, have you kind of got an idea of where that's going to go yet, or is all that going to get sorted out at the end of the season?
No, listen, we'd be stupid to know. We're on top of things. We're not amateur. We just don't go and tell the world what we're trying to do until business is done. It's as simple as that. So we want to keep hold of our better players. So we'll try and do that as a football club, and we'll continue to do that. And I know David Flitcroft and the recruitment team are working very hard behind the scenes on those sort of thing. So we let them get cracking with it.
And just on the other side of it, when you talked last week about the recruitment side of it and the different pool, if you like, you're fishing in, how hard is it now when you're looking to come into the end of the season to look at players that you want and get them? Is it far, far more difficult now than maybe it's ever been, given the disparity in the finances?
It is tough because you want to get the best calibre of player. And if you can remember right back till August, where we was trying to get the best calibre player, and majority of our targets are in the summer are playing in top 6 League One teams this year. So for me, the recruitment was in the right channel of what we're trying to recruit, but we missed out on those players. And there's a lot of those that are in the top 6 of the teams that have been in the top 6 for the majority of this division. We still have to keep trying to get the right calibre of player. We still have to go for the best we can possibly get. And with that, sometimes you miss out, like we did in the summer, on a few, because obviously the finances at the top becomes a big part. But we believe what we do as a football club and the culture, the environment, the great backroom team we've got, we can improve players, and it's a good place to come and apply the trade. And sometimes players choose different options, but we'll keep continuing to try and do it the right way.
Darrell, are you dictated then by the budget, because you've already said possibly you're looking to buy experienced players from maybe the back end of the Championship and Division 1 players? Are you dictated by the budget, or is it the fact you would probably buy the younger element and develop them, as you've just alluded to?
Every manager's dictated to by a budget because it's not an endless pit unless you're getting your money out, George. So we try and get the best for a pound. I think the recruitment over the last have been 25 months I've been at the football club speaks for itself, doesn't it? So that's how well the recruitment team are working to get the right players. We've had promotion in my first full season in charge, and we're hopefully going to consolidate and keep kicking on in League One this season. So we just keep trying to get the best that we possibly can for a pound. But we don't want players here that just want to come here for money. We're not interested in the players that are just going to fill up the bank balance. We want players to come into this culture, come into this environment, be the right sort of personality to be able to then improve their football at any age that may be. Everybody can keep improving and enjoy what we're doing here.
And because I'm looking at Will Forrester, you say he's a younger player that's got a big future in front of him, hasn't he, in terms of the age, and you've already said you've developed. Is that the market you would look at then, Darrell, more so then?
Look at all markets, every single market. When you're recruiting players, George, you look everywhere. You have to get the right balance, not just on a formation or a squad sort of thing, but you also have to get the right balance of experience, inexperience, and get that right as well. Because if you've got too many inexperienced players, you'll struggle in this league, in my opinion. It's a man's league, it's a running league, it's a very fit and physical league. So you need a certain style of player, and if you go too young, I don't believe you get out of the division.
So how do we assess tomorrow's game then? And it looks as if it's going to be on, Darrell, and important that you do get this game on. I imagine you want it on, don't you?
Yeah, of course we do. Yeah, we're looking forward to the challenge. Fleetwood just below us had a really good runner's return, strengthened massively in the window with Jaden Stockley and Jack Marriott. Paid a few quid for from 2 decent strikers there that are proven at the level and improved this squad considerably. So we know it's going to be a tough challenge, but we go there on the back of, I'd say, 4 good performances, so we're looking forward to it.
How do you assess Scott Brown as he's come into the English League in terms of his management style and what he's brought to Fleetwood? How would you assess his team style?
I think you look at improvement. I think they finished on 40 points last season. I think they're on 42 now with 11 games to go. I think they've got 11 or 12 games to go, so he's improved. So he's gone in. It's his first managerial job. I think he's doing a cracking job, and I'm sure he's learning plenty along the way.
Thank you, Darrell.
Darrell, excuse me, over the last 10 games, how much is it just about winning games? How much is it giving development players, as you mentioned, game time? Does that come into it at all?
Mike's all about winning. It's about winning, always about winning football games. We're not at development as in results don't matter stage. I never look at it like that way. Can't look at that as a first team manager. But there might be 1 or 2 opportunities for like Will Forrester coming to the team, done very well. James Plant, Tommy McDermott are doing very well on loan at Salisbury. There might be opportunities for 1 or 2 coming into the team. From now to the end of the season, we'll look at it on a game to game basis. But at the minute, it's beneficial that those 2 are out playing men's football and keeping the match minutes up. So we'll see.
Season tickets are about to go on sale. Just give us an idea of how important that is, just having that, you know, those home fans behind you, and what difference perhaps they've made this year.
Yeah, the fans are absolutely tremendous in a real a difficult world at the minute, where costs are rising on everything and cost of living. So the support we've had this season has been very much appreciated, and we hope to get more people and more supporters involved in what we're trying to do here, because that's going to be key. I think there's a stat that you know, there's not many clubs that haven't averaged over 10,000 fans in League One have got promoted over many years. There'll be one or two special cases, but at the end of the day, that has to be our target. We have to keep growing our fan base, we have to keep growing our attendances. It all comes cap in hand. We have to keep winning football games to make fans want to come more as well, but we need to really try and drive and push through the 10,000 marker, if I believe we have a realistic chance of trying to get out of this division. So everyone has a part to play, but the part they played this season has been absolutely tremendous, and we're very thankful of the support.
One of the plans for next year is to have that sort of vocal section behind the goal, which you see at other clubs. Is that something you think would benefit?
Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. I think it's going to be great for a reset in the summer. I think always at football clubs is a good chance to reset. We want to get a better atmosphere at home. The fans, you know, have been tremendous over the far side, but they're a bit away from us. It'd be lovely to get that noise and extra noise in home games, because the players thrive off that. They energise off the 12th man. They are our 12th man. We want them on this journey as a football club. It's important they are on this journey, and when they get behind us, they make a massive difference. And hopefully the atmosphere in the ground next season will be a lot better.